Welcome back to the Rhode Show this morning in the buzz with all of the adult shows on primetime TV and the endless stories that we hear about sexting and teenage pregnancies.
Yep.
Do you think teens these days are growing up too quickly?
I'd say so.
Right? I would think so too, on average.
No doubt in my mind.
Well, the answer, you may rethink your answer after this because there's a book called Escaping the Endless Adolescence that suggests that our teens are actually growing up too slowly.
Yeah.
Now, according to the book, by sheltering adolescents from work and other grown-up issues who may be preventing them and their brains from maturing, the authors say we don't give teens enough to take risks that are productive, and that results in risky behavior just for cheap thrills. What do you guys think of that?
I think that's stupid.
I think there is a sexual maturation that is
far
undeniable.
far above
What it once was.
than when I grew up. There is no comparison that when I was 13 and kids today are 13 are doing far more risky sexual things today at 13 than I ever did at 13.
And yet there is this dichotomy because you do hear about the helicopter parents who are constantly hovering. I knew of a guy whose mom used to drive up to college and do his laundry for him and that sort of thing.
And that's the type of stuff, like paying bills.
The other thing you hear too is that, kids are coming back home after college and you can't get them out until they get married. That never happened when I got out of school.
Do you think
you got out of high school and you were done, man.
Yeah.
That was it.
And it was an embarrassment.
It was an
embarrassment. Say, I live with my parents.
If you went to a girl and you said, you wanted to take her home and whatever, I gotta go to my parents' house. You didn't have
it's the premise of Failure to Launch with Sarah Jessica Parker.
You didn't have a shot in what.
Maybe
you needed your own apartment. You needed your own apartment, no matter how small or ugly it was. At least you had your own kind of place.
But do you think that's a result of the economy, or do you think that's a result of?
I think it's a result of kids being lazy.
Well, here's the thing.
Lazy.
It's nice to know that the parents are behind you for a security blanket. But let me tell you something. My dad, right now, I'm paying less for rent than I paid when I was living with my dad. I was paying bills with my father.
Well, see, that's a good thing.
And knowing some sort of responsibility. I screwed up my credit when I was 18, and it was on me for 7 years, and it's finally going off now. Some sort of responsibility needs to be put on kids, and I think some kids there is none.
Yeah. Absolutely. I agree, absolutely, and I blame parents for that. My wife and I get in an argument that when it's time, I want my daughter to get a summer job. I think there's nothing wrong with that.
Right, even though you can give her spending money.
She thinks that she should enjoy her teenage years and wait till she gets out of college.
Come on. I was 14, I was working at Sam Goody, and I loved it.
I can see you at Sam Goody.
It's just baloney.
But it is interesting, this dichotomy between this sexual maturation that happens so quickly, and then these kids who do seem ill-prepared for the real world.
And then I hate to blame it on media, but when you have music like Soulja Boy out there, it's probably not good for the development of the brains of these children, possibly. I'm just saying.
Most of it, and I agree that some of that maturation is taking place, but I blame the parents for that, for not pushing them out and saying, you know what, you're 16, you're 17, you're getting a job.
Fly out of the
You're going to
nest.
the mall. You're getting a job for the summer. You want those $120 jeans? They're not coming out.
Honey, I'm not paying for your iPhone.
Right. It's just not happening. Get a job.
I want to bring Courtney into this because, Courtney, what do you think of these the results of this study? Do you think kids are more or less mature than they were even a decade ago?
Well, I'd say less from what I see. I do think responsibility should start at home. I mean, one of my pet peeves is I feel like we should all make the bed when we get up. It's just something, maybe do a little more chores around the house. But I think adults should be a little more childlike too, and that way maybe it'll pass it on to the kids who want to grow up so fast. But here's what some of our friends on the live blog are saying on foxprovidence.com. One artist says it is natural to protect your child. I say they grow up too fast. And Lisa says for the most part, I do think they grow up too fast, but then there are those who don't have enough responsibilities either. So here's our poll on foxprovidence.com if you want to weigh in now. Do you think teens are growing up too fast or too slowly? Choices are A, too fast, they do adult things too soon, or B, too slowly, society protects too much. So you can weigh in there, of course, if you're one of our friends on Facebook. Log on to the Rhode Show page, and Corey Freitas is weighing in, and she says teens seem to lack basic life skills nowadays. Too busy with texting and MySpace to learn everyday skills. So you can chime in a bunch of ways, and maybe we'll share some more at the end of the show along with your poll results. But for now, back to the kitchen, Lily.